Have you ever asked the question, where is God? In those moments when it seems so dark and bleak, we oftentimes wonder, where is God? Now, it may be the case that we have left God. It may be the case that if we're a faithful child of God, that things are going on behind the veil of the scene and that we don't know about, and that God is working in His providence for kingdom purposes in great ways. That was true in the life of a young man by the name of Joseph. We read about Joseph in the book of Genesis. He was the son of Jacob, and he was despised by his brethren. Now, Jacob did show some favoritism to him and gave him a very fancy coat, and his brothers didn't like that. Plus, Joseph had some dreams about his leadership in the future and how his brothers would bow down to him and how even his mother and father would bow down to him. And that didn't go over well with anyone. One day, Joseph was sent out to check on his brethren, and when they saw him coming, they said, "Look, here comes that dreamer." And they conspired to kill him, but one of the brothers said, No, don't kill him. He is our brother. And so they threw him in a pit. Now, his brother Reuben had intentions to go back and free him from that pit, but instead, there was a band of traders that came by, and they sold him to this caravan, and that caravan took him to Egypt. And we find out later that Joseph was pleading with them not to do that. Many years later, there was a famine, and they came to Egypt looking for food, and after a couple of visits, he finally revealed himself to them. And I want you to listen to what this godly man Joseph has to say to them about all these events. Verse number 8. He says, let's start at verse 7. "And God sent me before you to preserve a posterity for you in the earth and to save your lives by great deliverance. So now it was not you who sent me here, but God, and He has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house and a ruler throughout all the land of Egypt." Did you catch that? Joseph says, "I don't want you to get the idea you sent me here. Well, it sure looked like it. It just looked like they were the ones that sold him." Keep this in mind. God didn't need them to do that, but if they were going to be evil, He had the ability to use that for the benefit of the kingdom. Join us again tomorrow.